Colombia's new president loves to put on a show. Abelardo de la Espriella, who calls himself the Tiger, narrowly won Colombia's closest presidential elections, with a campaign centered on social media, AI-generated videos, and political spectacles. A Colombian-American lawyer, he made a fortune defending paramilitary leaders, drug traffickers, and money launderers, before reinventing himself as a far-right law and order candidate promising an iron fist against crime, a smaller state, and closer ties with Donald Trump's administration. His campaign strategist has worked for 2 decades to build de la Espriella's brand, one he says that is centered on stirring up people's emotions.
What we did was listen to the people. Colombia had been dominated by a political class that controlled absolutely everything in the country and present a completely different alternative, a modern 21st century break, to a new electorate that the old political establishment never saw coming.
De la Espriella says he wants to reinvent the presidency itself. Instead of governing from Bogotá, he says he will rule mostly from here, the coastal city of Barranquilla, which he has designated as an alternate capital of Colombia and where most of his closest political allies are based. He's transforming a military complex into a White House-inspired presidential palace, while converting the city's former customs house into a presidential office. He'll also become the first president in Colombia's Republican history to be sworn in outside of Bogotá. He says it's a way to bring the government closer to neglected regions, but his critics say it's another challenge to Colombia's political traditions and constitutional norms.
When Donald Trump won in the United States, many analysts said that in the end he'd be tamed, that he'd end up being more or less the same as we'd seen before with the traditional Republican and Democratic establishment. They were wrong. The same applies to de la Espriella. He's not going to be tamed. He'll try to carry out everything he promised, even proposals that undermine democratic institutions. But Colombia's institutions have been tested before and will resist. De la Espriella wants to reshape the presidency in the country, but with a fragmented Congress and a strong opposition already calling for civil disobedience, delivering on his promises may prove far harder than putting on political stunts. Alessandro Rampietti, Jazeera, Barranquilla.